Hey guys, welcome to this video. So today I'm going to be showing you reading eggs. This is an app you can download and also a program you can use for your children when you're trying to teach them to read. I'm going to show you a whole level. I'm also going to talk about if it worked for my kids or not. I've pretty much used this for my kids, tried to use it I should say, every year since my daughter was 2. So we've tried it at least 3 times, if not 4, just at different times in her life, just to see if she was ready for it. And so I'll talk about that, how that experience was for me, what I like, what I don't, and I'll also be comparing it to ABC Mouse. So let's get started, guys. Hey guys, this is Editing Cassandra here. My voice didn't record as I was shooting this video, so bear with me here as I do this voiceover. This is my first time doing voiceover. So we'll start at the top here. So when I tried to set up the accounts, I tried to put in Tobias. As you can see at the top there, he's locked. You have to pay per child. So that's something to be aware of if you have a big family. As you can see, there's all these different programs. There's Reading Eggs Junior, Reading Eggs, I think it's called Reading Eggs Express, and Math Seeds. We have only ever done the Reading Eggs regular program for kids 3 to 7. So it does give you a little assessment here, as you can see as I'm scrolling down. I don't think this is entirely accurate, as it says her reading age is about 4.5 years. She found ways to kind of skip through the levels, and so as you can see even over here it says she knows 4 of 200 sight words. She does not. I know 100%. She knows 2 sight words, her name and cat. That's it. Yeah, these things are a little, but they could be good if your child isn't flubbing their way through it like my little sneaky daughter is. These could be really helpful, especially if you need to submit things back to your school board, if you're homeschooling or things like that. So you can see some of the things there that it shows you. So you just go and click on Start here to get started with your program. You're going to want to do this normally, but there was a library down there which I was surprised at. We'll go back to that. I didn't notice that when we were first using the program, and that is something that I would say is an advantage. So my daughter is on lesson 11, but there are lots of things down here that you can also do. So you've got songs. I just clicked on the map here, and this shows you all the little critters they get after each level. There's puzzles, games, awards, different things you can do down at the bottom there, but I always went straight to lessons. I never even let my daughter see these options down here. But if you're interested, it's almost like a little video game within there too, which could, help them blow off some steam after they've done the lessons. So here's all their little critters. They can buy some furniture, workwear. I like Reading Eggs for the fact that it doesn't focus on this stuff. Like you can easily skip it and your child may not even know about it like mine. So here's the different things you can shop for. There was a playroom there, a dining room. Very similar to ABC Mouse. A little more simplified. And again, it's not a focus of Reading Eggs, which I really like. I'm not really sure why some of these things aren't open to me, like this Storyland, spelling and driving tests. Maybe that comes a little later on. I'm not quite sure. But here you go. I'm just showing you some of the puzzle park. If you wanted your child to do the daily puzzle or whatever, there's lots of different options. Okay, this is sort of like a quiz. What color is this? Again, that's too simplified for my daughter. That's the thing with these programs is some things are, here's all the levels she's completed first, but completed I'm using in quotes because like I said, she found a way to flub her way through them, but I can't remember what I was saying about the puzzle. Oh, that's the thing about some of these programs that you need to be aware of is that some things are really on for your kids' level and age, and then some things are like too easy and some things are too hard. So that's exactly what happened to us during this Reading Eggs program. And this is all the programs, ABC Mouse, whatever it might be. At least this one, I find, if we're comparing it to ABC Mouse, this one is I feel like more suitable to their age and level. Whereas ABC Mouse, I think I have Alice levels in advance and it's still so easy in so many ways. So at least this one is consistent also. The level, when I show you the level, when I go into one here, it is the same activities or kind of activities for each level. So it's repetitive, which I think is really important for kids that age, especially when they're learning a new skill like reading. And they're fairly simplified. I really prefer, if I have to choose one between Reading Eggs and ABC Mouse, just for the program aspect, I would choose Reading Eggs for sure. I like that it's a little more simple. This little ant is super cute. this is also a great part of the program. So he does little skits. I wish you could hear it here. I'm sorry, guys, that you can't, because for some reason it didn't record it. But so he's saying and so that you can click on the every time he says it, and he tells a little story first. So he must have told a little story about a nut or whatever that is. And so he's like Okay, so now he's doing the same thing. He'll tell you to click on the to click on it. And then I tried later on, I don't know if it's in this one, but I tried to see what would happen if you clicked a wrong one, and he says, uh-oh, or something like that. It's pretty cute. I'll take you all the way through the whole level. So I think there's 12 different sections. And again, this is repetitive. So he'll do this each time. It may not be with a bed, because I think he's talking about a nap right now or something. It'll be with a different thing that relates to the letter, but it's the same kind of idea. So now we're picking out the in the word. See me clicking here. Oh, it's really too bad you guys can't hear the sound. Alright, so now there's the second bear. This is the one that my daughter could never get. So it's asking you to figure out which picture starts with And if you click the little sound blue little circles there down below, it'll tell you what the word is, just in case you don't know what the picture is of exactly. So it'll say, table, nurse, and you have to figure out which one starts with N. She could not figure it out. Like, she cannot. All she does is memorize the pictures. So if you do this a couple of times, it only has a limited amount of pictures. She'll remember, oh, table doesn't start with N. That's not the right answer. She won't even remember the N part, probably. She just remembers, oh, that's wrong. It's got to be the other one. And that is, I guess, part of the downside of having the same activities each time, is that they have one activity in the thing that they can't do, then it stops them from being able to complete each level. So really, she should be back on level 1, because she could not do these right from the very first level. So I'm just skipping through a few of these here, guys. We're moving on to the next thing. As you can see, we get little... I don't know if those are eggs or coins, but they must be able to use those when they're shopping. She never did, so they just built up. But here we go. Now I'm showing you on the side here. These are all the different things that we'll complete within one level. All right, so now we're doing a dot to dot. So she's just clicking these. And again, this program is a lot easier on something like an iPad as opposed to the computer, because it's way harder for them to move a mouse, I feel like, as opposed to just drag with their fingers on the iPad or the cell phone. I didn't have a problem with this program on the computer or the phone or the iPad. We used to have an iPad. And I never had a problem with the Reading Eggs program, but that is a con of ABC Mouse. I could never get it to work consistently on the computer, and so I liked to do that. Sorry, now we're, as you can see, they just have to find the letters. And I do like this activity because it shows them different fonts, which is something that my daughter still struggles with. If the letter isn't in the specific font that she's used to seeing it in, she doesn't recognize it. So this helps them with that. But it is a little finicky, so I know a lot of the times, in the end, she would just ask me to do it, because she would try so many times and just not push the right one with her little finger, Yeah, it helps them work on that, at least. Their dexterity, I think, is what I'm getting at. But anyway, here we go. This is one of my daughter's favorite activities, these little ones. It won't always be a bird. Sometimes it's a bee, whatever, but you have to move them along. This one's along the treetops. So that's pretty cute. As you can see, they have 3 strikes at the top, so they can get it wrong 3 times. But again, if you're already doing, that cat starts with C, I mean, this is a breeze for you, right? You know what the letter N looks like at this point. So it's kind of weird the way they structure the activities. Now it's sort of more like a video game, isn't it? So again, she would struggle with this because it's, again, asking you which picture starts with the letter N. It's just not something she could do without memorizing which one's wrong and things like that. We're on to 6 here. It goes pretty quickly after this, so hang in there. Okay, so here's a penguin now. So it's taking you through, now it's reviewing, which is nice. So this is reviewing something that she's learned in a previous lesson, just to make sure she remembers it. So that's a good thing about this program as well. It's saying that the thing's really slow, so it's saying k, ah, t. Yeah, so this is obviously getting the lowercase and the uppercase of the letter that you're learning, and also reviewing past letters that you have already learned. All right, now we're on to a new thing, like to find the missing letter in the word. And again, there's that little marker there just in case the child doesn't know. See, they might look at that and go, what is that? So it'll tell you the word if you click that little icon, which is great. Only one more of these. There we go. We're done. On to the next one, picture match. This one I find teaches you really nothing. It's really quite bizarre, this one. But because the kids are not going to remember, like I get that it's just showing you and introducing you to words that start with that letter sound and the letter, but they're never going to remember by looking at these words on the screen and doing this whole thing twice, because they do it twice here. They're never going to remember the words from this, so I don't really understand why they've included this activity. I feel like they could have done it in a, I don't know, a better way, but this activity is in every single lesson, so. This, I'm sure going to show you what Alice does. She just does this. She doesn't even read the book. She just goes, because she knows that she can just quickly fast forward it and get out of it. So, but it does read you each word. So if your child is not naughty like mine, then that's another way that they can be exposed to words, I guess, that start with N. And so this is the critter that that she would have earned had she done this lesson. So that's it. It's one entire lesson right there. And here he goes, moves to 12. So this is great. I was checking the library because I said if we're comparing the libraries, because that is one reason why I will purchase ABC Mouse in the fall, is because it has an excellent library and they're always updating it with new books. This one is interesting as well. If for some reason it's only accessed through this Reading Express, and I think that's because it's so difficult to navigate that you do have to be kind of older, whereas the ABC Mouse one is super easy to navigate. In fact, I often see them, instead of doing lessons, just reading some of the stories. And when I say reading some of the stories, I mean a lot of the stories will read to you. So this one's divided into categories, as you can see. But if you were clicking on animals, for example, in the ABC Mouse one, it would show you like National Geographic and things that you recognize, whereas this one is books that I don't recognize, at least. You might. And also in the ABC Mouse one, it has like Pixar and Disney books and, you know, all sorts of cool things that they recognize. So that's been a lifesaver during this quarantine, I'll tell you that right now. And that is a good feature if you are going to purchase this one. At least they have, you know, some extra books to read if you're ever stuck like we have been and not been able to go to the library, or you just prefer to read books digitally to them, then, you know, and this can be a really fun thing. And I believe they earn eggs as well, or the little spending money, each time they read a book in this program. So yeah, there you go. So it tells you right there, you get 20 eggs for reading this book. So that's kind of a neat incentive. If your child, you know, is struggling with not wanting to read, then this might be a great way to get them excited about reading because they earn those eggs each time. Totally up to your discretion, of course. So I'm just showing you an example here. This, again, isn't something I recognize, but okay, so it says up at the very top there, read to me or don't. You can click that little off. This one's a chapter book. Oh, I think I was checking to see if each book reads to you, and they don't. See, this one does not. There's a little quiz. So yeah, so that would be way too advanced for my daughter to read a couple chapters and then do a quiz. At least in my opinion. I mean, some people may be doing that with their 4-year-olds, but yeah, I think that's a bit much. And you know, I don't want to be doing that at this age. So that's again why it could be in the Reading Express part. Maybe there are more chapter books than picture books in that library. But anyway, it gives you a little introduction there. Another thing too, guys, is reading eggs, when they say there's a free trial, it is only 2 weeks, but you don't pay. You have to put in your credit card information, but they do not charge you. Whereas ABC Mouse every single time charges you for another part of the program that you can't opt out of. It's so frustrating. So you think you're doing a free trial and you're not. It's only a few dollars, but it's still frustrating. So this is very clear. It's a free trial, and it is. Definitely let me know in the comments below if you have any questions. I'd be happy to answer them for you. And, you know, your experience with it too. I would love to hear about that in the comments below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, guys, and subscribe and hit that bell. Change it to all, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching this. I really hope it's been helpful. All right, bye, guys.